Right now, to discuss further on this, we have someone joining us virtually, Steve Wanchuku, a financial analyst, to give his take on the situation. Good evening, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it's good to have you always. Now, let's talk about this bill that the president has signed into law, talking about trillions of naira. So with the aim of course, driving infrastructural development, economic growth, and also the debt servicing. So in your assessment, given the current economic climate in Nigeria and the realistic goals, would you say these goals are realistic? I think basically that would be the question. And what are the key economic indicators that you'll be watching to gauge the success of this budget?
Well, good enough that Mr. President have signed the 2025 Appropriation Act. Is now a law, and what is left is for the implementation. Coming to those components of the budget that may be a sort of high expectation and a sort of challenges to the implementers and to Nigerians who also have a lot of expectation that this budget may actually relieve Nigerians from the current economic sufferings and hardship that Nigerians are passing through. So first, I think I will have to commend the president and the National Assembly to have, done it right to pass the 2025 Appropriation Act and Appropriation Bill and president signing into law. And let's look at those challenges or the expectations. First, the expectations are that to an extent, there will be a level of implementation of the key components of the budget, those budget line items that will touch the lives of Nigerians. There are also expectations from the side of the revenue generating agencies to meet up with this very budget, which has over 23 trillion naira as capital components of the budget. So a 54.9 trillion is a lot of money. So the revenue generating agencies need to start working hard to make sure that these revenues are raised, to make sure that this budget is implemented. It's also expected that the NNPC will quickly move on to ramp up production of crude oil to meet the budget benchmark of 2.06 million barrels per day of crude oil production. So it's also expected that the fiscal discipline will also be, matched with some level of efficiency in spending, with some level of cutting off wastages, cutting off duplications where they may occur in the 2024 budget. Then the challenges now may also come from the point that you have a budget of 54.9 trillion and your revenue expectation is less than what you actually have to implement the budget. It simply means that you will be hitting the market again to raise close to 13 or 14 trillion naira. That is the challenge that the budget has. So hitting the debt market is a big challenge because our debt profile, like you talked about, also is close to 60 or 62% of our GDP. So it's quite alarming. So that is one component of the budget challenge. And you also have this very challenge also that the capital component of the budget and the capital component of the budget is still less than what we have as recurrent. So government and those who are engaged in planning from the Ministry of Planning and Budgeting and Finance need to do all their best to make sure that we up the capital components of the budget to say that this very budget actually impacts in the lives of Nigerians. Thank you.
Appreciate you. I think you answered basically all the topic that there is, lingering and concern on this topic. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Steve Wanchuku. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.